Hey there, thinkers. Welcome back to another episode of Critical Hit. My name is Est, and in case you did not watch the South Park episode of Into the Pandaverse, consider this your spoiler warning. It looks like they've ticked off the exact people they were trying to target. So let's get into it. So let me just set the record straight. South Park really made fun of everybody in the Pandaverse episode. And Gina responded right away after Geeks and Gamers posted a post on Twitter. And she responded by this. This is the part where KK demands any YouTubers get censored off of YouTube for sharing and laughing at this hilarious episode. She'll have YouTube disable the thumbs down option because the ratio she'll receive. Then she'll have her publicist schools make sure that Variety and Hollywood Reporter run hit pieces about South Park creators and their families, smearing their names through every useful idiot she has under her thumb who will sell their soul to work for Lucasfilms. She'll activate her online mob to repeat the South Park creators are racist, bigots, transphobes, and demand South Park creators publicly apologize by only using words she approves of. And finally, she'll demand they subject themselves to a re-education course of 45 people in the LGBTQ community Zoom call to sit there and listen how badly they got their feelings hurt over a little boop of a South Park episode. But maybe, just maybe, the jig is up. I absolutely love it. It's perfect. So the best part about this whole thing is that Around the Galaxy guy here, he actually took a screenshot of her post and then he shared it as a picture, so it didn't actually reference as a share, but he also tagged her in it. So I mean, like, do what you will. However, he said, in case you were wondering, Gina Carano has lost her goddamn mind. And oh my gosh, guys, Gina, she did not take this sitting down. When she was told that she was being cray-cray, oh man, she woke up and chose violence that day. Let me read some of this stuff because it sounds pretty poetic. She goes off on him like this, and do you always call women crazy because she has more first-hand experience than you? And says something you don't like or understand? A bit misogynistic, don't you think? Tisk tisk. Curious if your overlords pay you, or do you all just go ahead and shove your whole head straight up their ass for free? I'm guessing for free. Might want to come out and get some fresh air. Yeah, a little bit. For some added context, not just for you, but for people reading. One of those things your overlords asked me to do was to unfollow certain accounts because they said bad things about Kathleen Kennedy. That was a huge red flag for me. They asked her to say no, disable people because they said bad things. Oh my goodness, that's insane. If I were to head one of the most powerful entertainment companies in the world, I would know that haters come with the territory. That maybe the haters are expressing their thoughts because they actually care. And caring is a good thing because as long as they care, well, hey, we still have something to work with. Maybe we can win their hearts back. Eventually, maybe they have to do some good things to add to the conversation, which they do and did. And at the very least, are still buying the product. Like, look, Mando Season 1. Boom! The healing had begun. Here, if you are a proper good leader, you learn how to embrace and communicate, not dictate and silence and demand your actors and directors unfollow and shame more than half of your fan base and people who have stuck with the franchise for decades. Side note, don't say the Force is female. Don't say the Force is female and then only allow men to express their political views online. In fact, just drop the ridiculous phrase completely. I agree. I hate the Force is female phrase. It bothers me immensely. One of those problems that your overlords are having right now is that they've made a lot of people completely stop caring about one of the most beloved franchises in history by all the bullying, pushing aggressive agendas, trying to silence the people criticizing them. How are they able to tell stories they just don't understand when the ones they identify with are the Empire? They are literally trying to squash the little guys, the rebellion. No wonder the storytelling is struggling. They fired and dehumanized people like me who did absolutely nothing wrong. all to virtue signal to people like you. Yes, men. But yes, men, unfortunately. For you and them. Do not drive culture. Maybe they're banking on the kids picking up the slack, but one of the best things about this franchise is passing it from generation to generation to share. The competition is too high to throw out something as valuable as that. Why would one generation pass it on when you've disrespected and thrown them away? Your overlords tried to hide behind the two opposing fan bases, fighting each other instead of taking responsibility. So they encouraged the hate, while virtue signaling they were trying to stand up for minorities, but instead using them as a shield and weapon. Funny enough, just how our government works. Weird.
Yeah, weird.
They think people will forget, and yes, maybe they will, but for this moment, they have heard the people's voices, and it shook them. They're choosing to stick with their weak leadership, who couldn't handle YouTubers saying mean things online, when all it would have taken was a true leadership to step in, take the reins, take some responsibility, stop discriminating, apologizing about the things that they've been doing wrong, and step completely out of politics, but truly inclusive, and they'd be back to business. Until then, they're stuck with you. Yes, men. They're plummeting stock. I'm not saying I'm right on all fronts. I am open-hearted and refuse to discriminate based on the powerful people telling me how to think and act, and if there was something I needed to apologize for, I would have in a heartbeat. But I didn't say or do anything wrong. People came up to me daily to shake my hand and thank me for taking a stand, even when people who think different. One thing is true. Good leadership makes for a better world, leading into a healthier, happier people, and better opportunity. Look around. We are watching the devastating effects of what bad leadership can do worldwide. Oh my gosh. See, this is why I love this girl. She is so strong in all accounts, and she is just pouring the tea all over the place. It's beautiful. And because of Gina, we're going to know who ordered those hit pieces later on in the week. Well, I think that's everything I've got for this video. And if you've made it this far, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And what do you think Kathleen K's next moves will be following this debacle? Well, let me know down in the comments. And I'll see you in the next video. Toodles!